Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be an update on the macro view and the macro final fifth wave that I think we're heading into for the full cryptocurrency market. How I believe the market is going to transpire over the next year. And for context for that, we're going to go back to the post that we made back in 2022. I've referenced this chart a couple of times in my YouTube videos, but we'll reference it again and we'll just update on where we are, how we've transpired, a couple of things we got right, a couple of things that we've got wrong. So this was back in 2022, August, depths of the bear market, people absolutely panicking, just calling for that extra low to be hit before then new highs heading into 23, 24. Of course, the market cycle has taken a little bit longer than what we expected, but we're not going to grumble at the market taking a little bit longer than we expect. We've got the patience, been through a couple of cycles, people that have been here a while. No, the timing is always going to be a difficult one, but working in zones and working in just working in zones basically is what you need to be doing in the cryptocurrency market. We did a couple of calculations here to work out the potential top. Timeline was 23 to 2024, but obviously we've headed into 2025 at these highs, so got that wrong, but still looking for that major target of at least 147,000 for Bitcoin. You can see here, if we was head into that logarithmic trend line right now, it would potentially give us a price of around 170 for an overthrow. So I think the next 6 months are going to be very exciting in the cryptocurrency market. I think we're preparing the final fifth wave, a very explosive move. And I think a lot of people are going to get caught off guard looking for the lower levels right now. If the cryptocurrency market was to crash from here, I think this would be the biggest cycle that I've seen the most people get right of calling the top ever. Bullish sentiment is absolutely not there anymore. Many people are giving up on altcoins, and that's kind of what we want to see for where we are in the cycle and where we are in the cryptocurrency market in general right now. It's precisely what we're wanting to see. So we'll head into the BLX. Go for the Bitstamp chart. Seems to have a decent amount of price action on the Bitstamp chart. Remove all this and just see where we actually are for the moment now on Bitcoin. Yeah, very nice move since 2022. There it is. That's when we made them videos, August 2022. You can see the rise we've had from there in terms of percentage, over 400% in the crypto market. A lot of coins actually did more than that, and people are saying that the alt season never happened or there's been no returns in the altcoins. But just take a look at some of the lower time frame moves that we got on things like Sand, Algorand, XRP, HBAR. I don't believe them moves are done, but just take a look. Some of them actually outpaced Bitcoin, and some of them didn't. So where we are right now in the cryptocurrency market is where we want to be. We're at the all-time highs for the total market caps. Everything is transpiring. We're seeing the altcoins lag behind. We're seeing the Bitcoin dominance rise to levels that we've discussed many times. Yeah, I definitely think the next 6 months are going to be very exciting, and it's all about preparing for the final fifth wave in the market. I do believe this is an Elliott wave here of a nice big 1-2. Oh, absolutely did that wrong there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and wherever this fifth wave ends is where it will end. Often in the cryptocurrency market, you get extended fifth waves, you get overthrows in the market. We're seeing now the market has already extended into the zones we're looking for, and we love to see fifth waves go into an overthrow of trend line. So a lot of people are going to potentially be looking at this region here if the market pumps to the upside to provide resistance. I think it will give them shorters up here a little bit of success, but then I think we're going to head into that 130, 140, and like I said earlier, we don't know how high we're going to go. We can only predict, and we never know the timings of the market. But everything is following what we wanted to see from the 2022 phase. The final fifth wave is always the most exciting, but before the final fifth wave can kick off, it's always met with absolute despair for the altcoins and the altcoin market and holders in the market that are ready to give up, or ready to just give up their full position, ready for the next bear market. maybe anticipating that the market's going to fall to the downside right now, which I don't think is coming, guys. I really don't. I've been many times in this cycles. It would be the first time, like I say, at this point for everybody to recognize a market cycle top. To me, looks like a very similar structure to something we got back in 2020. So let's take a look at 2020 here, and the market structure that we actually got on the 3 daily time frame is something very similar to what we're getting right now, in my opinion, before potentially kicking off into the final phase of the market. What I think we are in, guys, is a potential market structure almost akin to this type of wave here. Take a look at the high that got broken, and then as the low started to come down, you had this trend line here. And there was many days where the market just kept spiking into this region, but the market never fell to the downside. Even though a lot of people thought that the market was going to fall off a cliff there, it just pumped out of absolutely nowhere. It started to impulse, and arguably the major market impulse began at this point, and not this point here. Impulses can begin at the mid-bound of ranges. It doesn't have to be the bottom of the market, and it also does not have to be the top of the market where impulses to the downside begin. You can get complex corrections that just lead into truncated waves, and the market ends up doing what it wants anyway. So what I think we're seeing here is a couple of different scenarios on the medium time frame for Bitcoin to potentially watch for. Obviously on this 3 daily time frame here, we've got a big massive bullishly engulfing candle at the minute. One thing I've noted in the cryptocurrency market, when you get these big bullish engulfing candles, everyone does start to talk about them, and likelihood is it tends to take them out. It tends to take the people that enter these big bullish engulfing candles. It creates a little bit of a range like that, because obviously a lot of pattern holders do see this as a bit of strength and then enter along up here just to be wiped at the bottom of the range for the trend line manipulation to happen. Potentially a free wick pin heading into our Fibonacci zones that we put on the Patreon a couple of days ago, also updated today in the chat as well. So yeah, if you want more lower time frame updates on Bitcoin and weekly videos and Patreon live streams, we do all that. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 spaces that I've opened up today, so if you want them, go ahead and head to the Patreon, check them out. If not, if you want to just keep watching on YouTube or following on Twitter, that's absolutely fine as well. We're never going to force people into the group. It's always, if you want to join. If not. It's always nice to have a nice community there. But again, we don't want too many people in that community. That's why we've limited it. So whenever a spot opens up, What we've got here, though, on the lower time frame is a trend line here and a big bullish engulfing candle. Now that can indicate strength for the market, but I've seen many times where the market creates this type of 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, bullish engulfing just to take it out and then go. So I think on the lower time frame, there's a couple of different scenarios I'm looking for on Bitcoin to head into a potential final fifth wave. That could be it. That could definitely be the bottom in, just like we saw in 2020. Very similar here. Show you again on the lower time frame. Very similar market structure where we got the 3 hits of the trend line and we never came back to it, and we just went and sent from there. So maybe we're in a situation like this now for Bitcoin where, yeah, the late shorters are going to get pulled back and them stops possibly stopped out again, but maybe we're in a situation like this ready for a wave like this to come in the market. How high it goes, like I say, we don't know. We're just going to have to monitor on the lower time frame to see how it transpires. But at the same time, obviously I'm not going to be rushing into leverage long trades here, especially when we know we've got that liquidity lying at this region and also that big bullish candle. A couple of different techniques that we like to use. Potentially see the stop losses hit at around 91,500 before the market can continue to the upside, or maybe we just go from here. To me, it makes absolutely no difference. I'm not trading this region here. I've been accumulating a couple of different altcoins that I've put in the Patreon group. So yeah, I think the ROI, the return on investment, better plays for the rest of the cycle is probably the altcoins. Bitcoin has stolen the show. for the full 3 years to the upside, basically. Yep, we've had a couple of altcoins that have popped off, XRP, HBAR. Luckily, we was in a few of them. But I know a lot of people who wasn't in them altcoins as well, and they're feeling a bit left out, and they're feeling like, oh, maybe I should sell my altcoins right now and jump back into Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin makes that move to the upside, I think the altcoins are going to absolutely outpace it, because taking a look at Bitcoin dominance, been doing a little bit more updating on the Bitcoin dominance really in the Patreon recently. I'm kind of expecting this kind of wave structure to play out on Bitcoin dominance for a bit of a wick fill on the daily time frame, 50 to 60% of that wick to the upside to play out, and then really starting to look to the downside for Bitcoin dominance. I've put my targets on the Patreon, so if you want to check that out, check it out. But overall, looking like Bitcoin dominance is potentially starting to top out here. We've seen this market structure play out so many times in Bitcoin dominance before falls. Every pump in Bitcoin dominance before alt seasons looks absolutely incredibly bullish before it absolutely just turns on a dime. Here, majorly bullish, just straight into an alt season. Again, people getting very, very bullish here on Bitcoin dominance. Before, what do we know? Maybe the altcoins take over, as everybody is starting to say. Alt season can never happen again. As we're looking at that, we take attention to the total market cap as well. Look where we are, guys. We'll get all of the lower time frame Patreon analysis off there. Look where we are though. We're at the all-time highs. We've cleared the all-time highs, and we've had a major free wave backtest there. In my opinion, we head into our higher time frame regions that we're looking for the capital rotation to rotate from Bitcoin as Bitcoin pumps in the final fifth wave, rotating through the rest of the market. And we can get the clues there from Bitcoin dominance, total 2, total 3, and the others market cap. That rounding up of analysis of all of these different charts can give us the clues as to when the cycle is potentially over and the gains are no longer there to be made. But at the minute, for people that are saying no alt season can happen, we are in a moment where there is the most amount of money in the cryptocurrency market that there has ever been. And we're still heading into these regions, we're still in these all-time high regions, and people saying that the no alt season is going to happen are basically saying that the big players that have made all the money up here, the big millionaires, the billionaires, even the big institutions, the people that are saying that the alt season is never going to happen are basically saying that the big money is not going to rotate from the rest of the market to compound their gains, which they've done in every single cycle. They've done it every single cycle. So to say that this time is going to be different in market cycles, I've found to be a big mistake in the past. So yeah, I think when we're looking at total market cap, we start to see the confluence of the Bitcoin dominance, where Bitcoin is in the final phase of the market, how people are giving up on the altcoins at a crucial time where the total market cap has just slammed back into the all-time highs. Potentially they miss out on the final fifth wave. And imagine if we did get that final fifth wave, guys, chopping in around this region, and we start to head into some higher zones. The people who are sidelined, where are they going to get back into the market? They'll get back in on the pumps, and maybe they've only got one or two more major pumps in the market to be able to get back in on. If they're entering at these levels, 1, 2, the risk to reward is incredibly dangerous. Of course, the best time to enter the market was FTX collapse. Nobody interested. That's when we started the YouTube channel, saying that the bull market is going to head into 2023 and 2024. And yeah, was wrong. It's headed into 2025. But I'll always take being wrong. I'll say when I'm wrong. I'll say when I'm right. No one can be right every single time in the market. It's just impossible. If anyone's telling you that they're right every single time, they're selling you a dream. They're selling you a dream to take your money. And that's just the way it is. Some people charge thousands of pounds for you to enter the group and sell you a dream. And that's just the same in any industry, really. It's not just a cryptocurrency market. It's many markets around the world. People do that. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, it's about where people's attention is turning to. So in the bearish times, people's attention turns to people calling for new lows, During the corrections, people's attention tends to people calling for new lows, and then at the all-time highs, people's attention tend to the bullish people that say we're never ever going to correct again. Bitcoin can never fall below certain levels. Bitcoin is the digital gold. We get all the narratives, the same narratives every single time. It's just about being able to spot the narratives, find the confluence in the charts, and understand where we are in the market cycle. So to round up, I think it makes sense to just jump back to Bitcoin and look where we are. Take a zoomed out perspective, guys. Take a look at where we are in the final fifth wave of the fifth wave of the fifth wave potentially here. So setting up for an explosive move in my opinion. We've been bullish since 2022, but after this move, our attention will turn to the downside, and it'll turn to the downside where most people will start to look for that $300,000 Bitcoin, that $500,000 Bitcoin, the $1 million Bitcoin. Of course, this is what we expect at these levels as our attention turns all the way back to these lows down here for the next 2 years. But that's just the market cycle, guys. Once you've been through it a couple of times, you know what to expect. You know what narratives to look out for. When your family and friends are all talking about crypto up at the highs, it's time to get out. And when everyone's saying that crypto is a scam, it's time to get in. And it's as simple as that. But of course, it's not financial advice. Getting ready for the final fifth wave is what I'm preparing for. Of course, I've taken a little bit of profit on Bitcoin, XRP, HBAR, but we're also leaving a certain amount in to benefit from this potential final fifth wave to come in the market. So sit back, relax, let the market do the work. It's not financial advice, and take it easy.